O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. Stand up for your country. Confronting Evil out today. Boy, time went fast, didn't it? Takes a year to write these books. Off to a good start. A lot of controversy. I'm stirring it up because it needs to be stirred up. Most people have no idea about evil. And when they see terrible things, a lot of them look away. Can't do that anymore. We just can't do it. So I'll be around, and you probably know if you're on the internet, all the stuff that's going on. We'll deal with some of it this evening. But we are going to get into another legal victory for President Trump, not because I'm rooting for the Trump administration. I'm rooting for you and me, the American people. And that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points Memo. So as everybody in the country knows, the Democratic Party has decided to be soft on crime and soft on illegal immigration. This is a decision that was made by the progressive leadership, which held a president of the United States, Joe Biden, hostage for 4 years. And that's the historical truth. There's no two sides to the story. The Democrats are soft on crime. You see it in all of the blue states. No bail laws, permissive social order, zoning, all of that. How many times do we have to see pictures of San Francisco and LA and Chicago and Baltimore and St. Louis and New York City and on and on and on? How many times? How much body count do we have to have? After murder, after murder, after murder, after murder. And the Charlotte thing capped it. This young woman from Ukraine, the guy was arrested 15 times, and he stabs her to death for no reason on a bus. And he should never have been out on the street. Charlotte, North Carolina. I mean, it is all over the place. And Charlotte is run by progressives. Okay, so there you go. North Carolina is not a progressive state, but Charlotte's a progressive city. So let's go over the Supreme Court ruling yesterday. There was a judge's order in California, of course. This judge, and I'm going to say her name very slowly, was appointed by President Biden. Her name is Mamie Osimensha Frimpong. That's quite the name. Mamie Maminosemen Shah Frimpong. I'm sure I butchered it. All right, she looks like a nice woman. So she said, hey, Homeland Security, ICE, you can't stop Hispanic people or people speaking Spanish. You can't do it in pursuit of illegal migrants. Boom. All right. So that lawsuit was brought by the United Farm Workers and the Los Angeles Worker Center Network. A lot of them are communists. And the judge said, sure, I'll stay it because this is what I believe. We don't want any mass deportations. The state of California, run by progressives, doesn't want to deport most foreign nationals here illegally. Nor does New York, nor does Illinois, nor does Maryland, nor does Massachusetts. On and on and on. They're happy. You never heard them object to Biden's open border, those politicians, ever. There's always excuse after excuse after excuse. Anyway, Supreme Court takes a look at the lawsuit, and the non-liberal judges, the 6 of them, go, no. Okay, throws it out. So there will be other hearings, but for the time being, the Trump administration's Department of Homeland Security can question and stop anyone they want in California. It's a big victory for Donald Trump. Okay, another constitutional issue is developing in Chicago. This is why Trump has not sent in the National Guard yet. It was easy to do in D.C. because the feds control the District of Columbia. Not so easy to do in an independent city with no ties to the federal government other than grants, because of the posse comitatus law that's in the Constitution. And you can look it up, okay? Can't use U.S. military for law enforcement purposes. That's it in a nutshell. So the left, progressives in Illinois and Chicago are screaming, we don't want the guard, we don't want the guard, we don't want the guard. We've reported it, you've seen it, you know it. Okay, so in this situation, you have thousands of people murdered over the last 20 years in the black neighborhoods. 80% of the victims, African American. Nothing has been done. Nothing to stop the carnage because the drug gangs control the south side of Chicago and nobody's going to testify against them, just like the Mexican cartels. If you do, you're dead. And the Chicago authorities cannot control it. So the only power in the United States that can control it is the federal government. That's it. But the real evil here is that the progressive leadership doesn't want to control it. So if your house is burning down and a federal fire truck rolls in and says, look, we'll help you put out the flames, you accept the help, right? Unless you're insane. That's what President Trump did. Look, we'll tamp this murder thing down for you by helping you, by blanketing these neighborhoods with law enforcement so that the drug gangs can't come out and do this. No, we don't want it. All right, I'm going to run you another soundbite. I hate to be repetitive, but these people are doing evil things. Governor Pritzker is doing an evil thing, and so is the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. Go.
It's a terrible waste of resources. It literally is going to cost hundreds of millions of dollars for the federal government to do what they're trying to do. And it has no purpose related to crime. It is only related to interrupting the elections in 2026.
There are multiple motives that the president has right now. One, his ultimate motive, of course, is to bring federal troops, the National Guard, into the city of Chicago and cities across America to cause chaos, to justify martial law. I mean, this is, a direct play from the playbook that comes out of, our fight for civil rights.
So Pritzker says because Trump wants to win an election, and Johnson says this is a civil rights. You want to roll back civil rights for African Americans. I mean, these are loons. These are loons. Now, I'm not going to say there isn't a political component in this for Donald Trump. There is. All right? There's no doubt about it. He wants to be the law enforcement president. And that's the truth. Biden couldn't care less. Obama's hometown, Chicago, what did he do in 8 years? Tamp down a murder. Nothing. If you are 64 years old or older, you gotta hear this. Millions of seniors are on the wrong Medicare plan, and they don't even know it. Don't know it. In fact, the Department of Justice recently sued 3 major Medicare brokers for allegedly claiming to be unbiased while secretly steering seniors toward plans with the biggest kickbacks. Whoa. That's why I am partnering up with Chapter. Chapter doesn't work for the government or big insurance. Works for you. They are the only advisors that compare every Medicare plan nationwide to find what's best for you and your family. They'll even help if you're hit with wrongful medical bills, and that is real advocacy. They have saved the average senior in America $1,100 this year alone. $1,100. Best part, their service is free. You can review your options in under 20 minutes with Chapter. You are in control. So please give them a call. 321-319-1576. Or click the link in the description below. Now, there's a reporter in Chicago, an independent guy, his name William Kelly. Okay, he's a freelance journalist. And he knows the city as well as anybody. There used to be a reporter named Mike Royko in Chicago, and he knew everything. And Royko's deceased now. Kelly pretty much knows as much as Royko. And Kelly is, he's like me, he's confrontational. Just want to play you a little tape of him going up against the previous mayor, Lori Lightfoot, who was as incompetent as it gets. Roll it.
Comparing last night's 30-plus shootings to last year when we had an out-of-control race riot in which almost every member of the city of Chicago was, in fact, a victim. Seems to be playing with those numbers just a little bit. Last night, I think you were on Chicago Tonight. You said that 99.9% of the criticism of you is because you're a black woman. Do you honestly believe that?
All right, just for asking that question, Mr. Kelly lost his press credentials. Took him years to get him back. He joins us now from the Windy City. You can find him on X at William J. Kelly. All right, so what I want to do here with you is most people don't live in Chicago. They've never even visited Chicago. It's astounding the resistance that is in play against adding a protective measure that would help poor African Americans under siege by drug gangs. How did that happen?
God bless you, brother. First of all, according to the British, two Irishmen talking to each other is grounds for it's a hangable offense. So just so you know, but it is really hypocrisy at the highest degree. The elected officials in Illinois, from Pritzker, who has presidential ambitions, as I'm sure you know, and Mayor Johnson, they welcomed the National Guard to protect the mega donors at the DNC in Chicago, the Democrat National Convention, as you know. But they for whatever reason, think that it would be a threat to democracy for the National Guard to defend defenseless women and children who are being attacked on a regular basis. President Pritzker, excuse me. I'm getting ahead of myself. But Governor Pritzker's signature legislation is something called the Safety Act that allows violent repeat offenders back out on the street with no bail, cashless bail.
Well, what is his rationale for pushing that? Why does he want that? What is his explanation? I want violent criminals back on the street.
Well, he's not a dumb man, so he must think that he's a billionaire businessman. He believes that he will be the next president of the United States of America. Women are walking. This is happening on almost a daily basis now. Women are walking down the street and getting punched in the face by violent repeat offenders, many of whom are illegal aliens. They're not in this country legally. Irina Zarutska this has happened in Chicago already.
Okay, but we all know that, William. We all know the atrocities. But again,
yes.
What does Pritzker put forth as a rationale, a justification for his soft on crime policy? Does he explain it ever?
Well, I seem to be the only reporter. I thank God I got my media credential back after Lightfoot revoked it. And I go to the press conferences and I ask the questions. I just recently asked him a question about an illegal alien named Jose Luis Mendoza Gonzalez, if you can believe it. I don't know if that's the name he goes by, who was arrested for concealing and, I hate to say it, abusing the body of an Illinois mother of two. But he was released. Okay? He was released, if you can believe it, under Pritzker's Safety Act. So what is the rationale? I don't.
Pritzker doesn't answer that question. He dodges the question.
He won't answer my questions. I'll keep asking, though.
All right. I mean, look, I'm looking. I know what it is. Pritzker panders to a very liberal audience that believes that the United States is a bad country, a racist country, and forces people to commit crimes. That's pretty much what it is. Now, I believe if Pritzker was running for re-election tomorrow in Illinois and Johnson in Chicago, they would both win. Again, despite all this violence and terror, despite the opposition to the National Guard, they would win. What does that tell the nation about the voters of Illinois and Chicago?
Well, it might tell them something about the ineffective Illinois Republican Party. But thank God, we do have a president who wants to send the National Guard, who has sent Homeland Security. And I can just say it right now on this platform that if President Trump really wanted to completely upend the incompetent and corrupt system in Illinois, all he would have to do is direct his DOJ to do essentially an Operation Greylord 2.0. Greylord was Ronald Reagan's, I think it was the FBI, DOJ, uh, investigation into the corrupt practices in the Cook County Circuit Court.
But it's always been that way in Chicago, back to Mayor Daley. All right,
Yes, indeed.
William, I got to let you go because we got a million breaking news things going on. But I want you to, and we'd like to get this on tape, the next time you talk to Pritzker or Johnson, say, and you can say, look, I'm asking this for Bill O'Reilly, which will, of course, still start to shake. What is the rationale? Why don't you want more protection for the poor African Americans that are being murdered? That's all. Keep it really short and pithy. And if you get that soundbite, I'll play it. We appreciate your time tonight. Thank you. New York City, new poll has Mamdani widening his lead here for mayor. That vote will take place in November. It's the Siena New York Times poll, polling outfit. First question, mayoral election held today. Would you vote for Mamdani? 46. Curtis Sliwa, the Republican, 15. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo, 24. Eric Adams, 9. Would you vote for, if there were only two candidates, Mamdani, 46, Cuomo, 44? And with Mayor Adams polling at 9, there still will be two candidates on the Democrat side. Cuomo's running on some independent thing, but he's on a ballot. So it's a much closer race. I continue to believe that Adams will drop out. But Mamdani is commanding a lot of votes. And so in conjunction with Confronting Evil, my book, I went on News Nation last night. Now, there are evil people, just thoroughly evil, Putin, Ayatollah, Mao, Hitler, they're on the cover, and there are 11 others in the book. But there are also evil acts that we commit, all right, human beings commit. It doesn't mean we're evil 100%, but we do evil things. And I submitted last night on News Nation and made all the social media and all of that stuff that voting for a man like Mamdani is an evil act. Why? Because Mamdani himself has said the following. A, he wants to cut $1 billion out of the New York City police budget. That would allow violent crime to spike, surge, and people would die. Lots of people. B, that the New York City police is racist. That means that the cops are going to quit, get other jobs, gone, okay? In addition to the $1 billion cut. And the third thing is he doesn't want to incarcerate criminals. He doesn't believe in incarceration, Mamdani. So you put that all together, and if he is the mayor, I would say thousands of people over a 4-year period will die. And you're voting for that. Is that not an evil act? Roll the tape. We're about in New York City to elect a mayor who simply will not enforce any laws. Any laws. It is going to be anarchy and blood in the streets. And anybody who votes for that Mamdani is, in my opinion, committing an act of evil. Pull a lever for that man. You are responsible for what happens later.
Oh,
the other thing they touched upon is, I'm sorry.
You're going to blame people who are voting and saying, hey, look, I can't afford groceries. This guy's talking about giving me and my family a better life, and they're evil?
If you are not smart enough to know the man you're voting for has said out of his own mouth that he does not believe in incarceration, that he has called the NYPD racist, that he wants to knock out the gang investigation unit, and you pull that lever, you're enabling evil. In 1934, Hindenburg died in Germany, the president. Hitler was a chancellor. there was a referendum. Yes or no, give Adolf Hitler dictatorial powers. 90% of the German population voted yes.
Okay, so
they
we
have
get
blood on their hands.
So I'll agree with you there.
You have to agree with me 100% on this if you're a rational thinker. If you know an action that you take, whether it's voting or anything else, is going to lead to the deaths of innocent people, and you take that action anyway, you're committing an evil act. Come on. Homeowners, when is the last time you checked on your home title? If your answer is never, then this is for you. Scammers are stealing titles, and your equity is a target. Criminals forge your signature. Just like that, your home title can be transferred out of your name. That's why I partnered up with Home Title Lock, so you can find out today if you're already a victim. Please use my promo code BILL at HometitleLock.com, and you'll get a free title history report. Plus, you will get a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of your title, urgent alerts of any changes, and if fraud does happen, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code BILL. The American dream is changing. Forget the white picket fence. Today it's about getting out of debt. If rising prices and credit card bills are weighing you down, there is hope. Done with debt. They don't offer loans or push bankruptcy. Their expert negotiators go straight to your creditors, cutting what you owe, wiping out interest, eliminating penalties. They fight until your debt is gone. Most clients see more money in their pocket the first month. You've worked too hard to let debt win. With Done With Debt, freedom is possible. Please visit donewithdebt.com. Talk with one of their experts, completely free. But some of their solutions are time sensitive, so don't wait. Please go to donewithdebt.com. Again, donewithdebt.com. Okay, we're going to bookend the show. I told you at the beginning that Confronting Evil out today, and now we have a full week of events. So tomorrow, News Nation, 10 p.m. Eastern, as I mentioned, a special with Leland Vittert on the book. You will not be bored. You will not be bored. Okay? Tape it, watch it, cherish it, whatever you want to do with it, and then let me know what you think. Also tomorrow, Adam Carolla's podcast. So you go to his podcast, you find out when he's going to drop that. I'm taping that in right after this program. That won't be boring either. Okay? And tomorrow, Hannity Radio. And he says he's not going to give me a cupcake interview. All right? I'm ready. I am ready. So we got a lot of events coming up to promote Confronting Evil, and they're all going to be lively for sure. Thank you very much for watching and listening to the No Spin News. I'm Bill O'Reilly. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.